Hey Jimmy, this is that tutorial explaining our target laps. So right now I'm on my stats page. I've been doing a lot of NASCAR, but so basically um, I'm in the driving stats section of the website. So hamburger icon, driving stats. And what I like to do is I like to bookmark this page because I'm so frequently in this page. So I can click and drag it into my bookmarks. And if you don't have a toolbar like this, you can click this little star icon. This will bookmark this page as well, so you can easily come back to it. Um, but anyway, we'll go to your driving stats just so I can give you a more specific example of what you're working on. Um, so let's say you wanted to compare a lap with one of our coaches at Mid Ohio. We do have a data pack available for Mid Ohio, so we can go to this blue arrow and load up all your sessions that you've done at Mid Ohio on this particular build um, with this car and track. So we'll pick a session from 3 days ago, 18 laps. And one quick tip, if you want to keep, I've noticed your track conditions can vary. And if you want to keep your track conditions like track temp, rubber content, ambient temp, all the clouds, everything, all the variables within iRacing, if you want to keep those consistent, you can make sure to load exactly the same testing environment every single time by hitting this test in iRacing button right here. So this will actually launch the sim, so you actually don't even need to go to iRacing in order to launch it. So I know our interface is a little bit easier to use than iRacing sometimes, so definitely want to start getting the habit of using this button. It's just a lot easier. So you've got your blue arrow again to load this specific session. Every session will be listed here, so if you want to reset the track state, load a new session, it'll pop up as a new entry on this list. So we'll click on View Laps, and you'll see that sometimes, not all the time, sometimes we'll have data packs available for the IndyCar at place like Mid Ohio is pretty common. So we'll typically have a data pack for that, and it's going to load up an improvement opportunity for you to improve your lap time. And the buttons you really need to focus on are Analyze Line and See Video. So we'll go ahead. You can see that our data pack, our driver was able to do a 107 compared to the 109. So you can click Analyze Line. And by the way, our driver was on a different setup than you, so I'll show you how to actually get the setup that he was on. But anyway, so this is showing the entire track, telemetry from the entire track. And sometimes you obviously are going to want to get more granular with your analysis. So up here you can click, see how it says T2. That's turn 2, so click on turn 2, and it's going to zoom in the map so you can analyze your line in comparison to our coach. So if you're ever confused about if you're the blue line or the red line, go up to laps here, and you'll see that you are the red lap, and our coach is the blue lap, and you can actually swap the laps with this button right here. So now you are the blue and he is the red, if you have any preference. Also, it'll show all the differences between your setup and our coach's setup. So you can see the different settings that we loaded versus your baseline setup. So if you want to download it, you just click right here. This is our VRS setup for this specific car and track. And we can close that window. A couple other really useful buttons here that you might overlook at first glance. The play button, it's my webcam's actually blocking it, but there's a play button right down here. And if we click this play button, it's going to play the data in real time. So you can see exactly what gear, the line, the gas and brake, all that stuff that you are so familiar with, I'm sure. And two other very useful buttons that I tend to use are cockpit video mode in the top right here. So looks like our timeline loaded to the end of this sector, but if you go to the bottom and you click and drag this blue bar bubble to the left, and that's going to play the video from the start. So you can click the play button once again. We've also got a volume control right here. So this line in the middle, this is showing you your distance from the coach. So right now at this particular moment in time, when you were at this part of the track, you were 1.5 feet to the right. So this will change dynamically as you scrub through the video. You can also, just scrub through the video this way, click and drag, and that is extremely useful. And if you're looking for, say, it's kind of hard to see exactly where you are on the track for this particular car, since you're sitting so low, we actually have a chase video mode if you go to the top right again. And that's going to give you a much better view of where our driver is compared to you. So pretty useful stuff. And we've also got an advanced telemetry mode, which typically you probably won't be in here too much, but this is all the stuff that Cliff would be interested in, or maybe your engineers. We've got so many different things. You can see what I like to look at the most is the tires and see, compare. So you're basically going to be the dotted line while our coach is going to be the solid line. So I personally find this the most useful, but we've got damper histograms, traction, gearbox, car balance graphs. We've got a lot of things in here that might be more useful to somebody smarter about this type of stuff, unlike me. So, so anyway, we can back out of this. So again, just to reinforce, you've got your different sectors that you can load, which is super useful, and it's gonna adjust the graphs and adjust the video to be perfectly synced up and everything. So we'll go ahead and we can one quick thing, you can actually show the delta between the between you and the coach, or you can just plot both of them. I like to keep it in this view, so you've got that show delta option though. It's up to you. So we'll click the X, and one more thing, you can see that video. If you just want to see the video, this is a quick way to get to that, the meat and potatoes a little bit faster. So it's up to you. And you've also got the ability to compare some of your own laps. So for example, if I want to compare one of your laps to another lap, I can go to the Analyze Session button here, and you'll see that I can select a session and I can select a lap. So you've got your fastest lap. Let's say we want to compare your fastest lap against maybe a lap that is a little bit slower for whatever reason. Maybe the tires are a little bit more worn. So we can select two different laps, and you can see exactly why one was slower. I find this useful, especially with a lot of tire deg. So with a car that's falls off a lot over the run, which IndyCar doesn't really do, but it's definitely useful to definitely know how to compare how your inputs have changed over the course of a run. We use this quite a lot. And one more quick thing, while I have you, the Analyze Stints feature is really useful as well. If you make a stint one day and you make another stint another day with a different setup, this is going to essentially just load two stints that are in direct comparison with one another. So you want to change this target. You don't want it to be a lap. You want it to be a stint. So, and then let's see. Let's compare your third stint. And then this is going to compare basically an entire session. So you can compare multiple sessions, but so this is, one stint compared to all of your other stints in a different session. It's kind of confusing, but once you get your hands on it, it'll make a lot of sense. So red means that the attempt lap, which is this right hand column right here, this attempt was faster than the target. The target is going to be blue, shaded blue, when the target is faster. So this will give you a good idea of how you're doing over the course of a stint. Obviously, this becomes more useful when you do more laps. But if you wanted to compare, let's see, you were 1.1 off of your faster on your attempt this lap. So I can actually click on this cell, and it's going to show me exactly what happened. Looks like, overdrove the turn or whatever. So you can see exactly, it'll dive into the actual specific sector, or you can dive into the full track. So you can see you're a second faster this quick. You can load up the entire lap if you click on that. That should get you off on the right foot. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Reach out to Ray or myself. We're happy to help, and we really appreciate your support of the service. And congratulations again on the IndyCar deal. Really cool. Happy for you. Glad you're getting to do what you want to do, and that's really cool. So thanks again, and happy testing.